I'm Marilee Caruso. It's Wednesday, September 24th. Today, new details come to light about a brutal sword attack at a Brandon high school, the upgraded charges, and new information about the victims. Also today, rewards and risks.
If we can go ahead with these projects, can we make sure that there are some safeguards, there are some protections for the animals?
CTV News travels to Churchill to see what impact revitalizing the port may have on wildlife. Plus, welcome back.
It's fun to be in this locker room and fun to get back on the ice.
Jets fans cheer on a hometown hero. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. New details are emerging today about a brutal sword attack at a Brandon high school. Charges against the teenager accused in the attack have been upgraded, and if found guilty, the Crown wants the teen sentenced as an adult. Standing by live in studio with the latest is CTV's Danton Unger. Danton, what can you tell us about these new charges?
Well, Marilee, the 16-year-old male was previously facing 1 count of attempted murder and 2 counts of assault with a weapon. However, the Crown has confirmed those assault charges have now been upgraded, leaving the accused facing 3 counts of attempted murder. This all comes after Brandon police arrested the teen at Neelan High School on June 10th, accusing him of brutally attacking another 15-year-old student with a sword, leaving them with serious injuries. Police have since alleged the attack was racially motivated. And as you mentioned, Marilee, the Crown attorney on the case, Jennifer Comack, tells CTV News she has given notice the Crown intends to seek an adult sentence should the accused be convicted or plead guilty. The maximum youth sentence for attempted murder is up to 3 years in custody, while the maximum adult sentence is life in prison. The lawyer for the accused tells CTV News they're opposed to the adult sentencing. Now, Marilee, we've also learned there were additional victims in this attack. The Crown attorney confirmed the 3 charges laid are related to 3 separate victims. Brandon Police Chief Tyler Bates tells CTV News following the initial attack on the 15-year-old boy, the accused, armed with the sword, allegedly chased a staff member and another student at the school. Now, both were able to escape unharmed with no physical injuries, but Bates says police believe the intentions were clear. Now, just to note, the names of any victims, witnesses, and accused under 18 are all protected under the Youth Criminal Justice Act.
All right, Denton, do we know when this will actually go to trial?
Well, there's a hearing set for October 7th in Brandon. However, no trial date has been set at this point. Comack tells CTV News they haven't been told yet if the accused intends to plead guilty or have a trial. Now, none of the charges or allegations against them have been tested in court.
All right, thanks for this, Danton. A warning for those of you living in the province's north. RCMP are warning about an uptick in grandparent scams in the area. Typically, Mounties say the person receives a call from someone claiming to either be a relative or a lawyer who asks for large sums of money for bail. The person is then instructed to send the money via mail to an address outside the province. RCMP say at least 4 elderly people in Flin Flon have been targeted in this way recently, 2 of whom lost thousands of dollars. Police say if you receive a call like this, you should hang up and call your family member or local police directly to find out if it's legitimate. The city says higher levels of bacteria and viruses will soon start flowing into the Red River. It's only temporary as workers need to shut off the UV treatment at the North End Wastewater treatment plant while upgrades are underway. It means the water may be more harmful for humans and pets, but not fish. Anyone living within 3 kilometers downstream will be contacted directly. The UV treatment will be turned off next Wednesday and is expected to resume in March. The city notes this will not affect anyone's drinking water. The province is in the early stages of twinning a stretch of highway north of Winnipeg. A spokesperson for the Manitoba Transportation and Infrastructure Department says it's currently in the design stage for twinning 14 kilometers of Highway 59. The stretch of highway runs from Highway 12 to roughly 4 kilometers south of South Beach Casino. The design phase is expected to take somewhere between 1 and 2 years, with construction to follow. The province says it's too early to say when it might be completed. Talks have intensified to revitalize the port of Churchill in recent months. It's North America's only Arctic deep water port. But with more possible traffic comes heightened risks. CTV's Alex Carpa was in Churchill and shows you what impact increased shipping traffic could have on the environment.
Beluga whales dominate the shores of Hudson Bay in the summer months. From June to September, approximately 3,000 of these whales visit the Churchill River Basin every year. But there are fears economic opportunities in the region could have environmental consequences.
With ships, you get underwater noise that could disrupt the behavior of the migratory behavior of beluga whales.
Revitalizing the port of Churchill is planned for the second phase of Ottawa's nation-building projects, but boosting shipping traffic in Hudson Bay also introduces risks of oil spills and other major disasters.
So this is one of the two ports.
Fei Wang is the director of the Churchill Marine Observatory. He and his team of researchers have been studying ways to prepare for potential disasters in Arctic waters, like oil spills. The observatory has 2 seawater pools which recreate Arctic conditions, in which scientists like himself can study how oil behaves in cold waters.
There are such bacteria that can degrade oil when it's spilled into the ocean, but their activities are very slow in the cold waters.
Longtime Churchill resident Joe Stover, who works for a tourism company, wants to see more research done before construction begins. He says any impact on marine life would negatively affect the community, which is known for its ecotourism.
If we can go ahead with these projects, can we make sure that there are some safeguards, there are some protections for the animals?
The water looks very clean to me.
In the meantime, Wang says he and his team will do everything they can to protect the marine ecosystem as future economic interest in the Arctic grows. Alex Carpa, CTV News, Churchill, Manitoba.
Manitoba continues to lose people to interprovincial migration, but the rate has slowed compared to recent years. New data from Statistics Canada shows our province had a net loss of around 4,000 people last year. That's the lowest level since the pandemic. That being said, the population overall continues to climb, reaching 1,509,000 as of July. Manitoba has not had a net gain in population from interprovincial migration since 1982. A new mapping system is showing a clearer picture of how widespread invasive pigs are in Manitoba, and it may be helpful in controlling the animals' numbers. Invasive pigs have become a growing concern in recent years. They're difficult to eradicate, reproduce quickly, and destroy crops and natural habitats. So, Animal Health Canada has compiled data from across the country of known and reported wild pigs and efforts to remove them. Walkers, cyclers, and joggers in North Winnipeg now have a new path to explore.
3, 2, 1.
Ribbons were cut to open the Keewatin multi-use path this morning. It runs 4.5 kilometers from Inkster Gardens to Brooklands. It's accessible for people of all ages and abilities. Bike Winnipeg's executive director says connecting communities gets more people choosing active transportation and leaving their cars at home.
You don't have to go far to look in the Northeast Pioneers Greenway, to look at the Blue Line Rapid Transit with the AT, just to see the amount of activity that gets generated through there, the number of people that are choosing to use that. Certainly it does when they build it, when we connect it, people use it and enjoy it.
There's also new lighting and controlled pedestrian crossings at busy streets. Assiniboine Park is going to become a lot more green thanks to a generous donation from a local philanthropist. Assiniboine Park Conservancy is celebrating a $600,000 donation from Bob Williams. The money will allow it to plant 200 new trees annually for the next 3 years and take care of maintenance for many years afterwards. Williams was awarded the Order of Manitoba last year in recognition of the millions of dollars he's donated in support of the arts, healthcare, and nature. All right, let's bring Colleen Brady now and get a first look at your Skywatch evening forecast. Boy, sure was foggy this morning. Difficult to see for those driving on the early morning commute.
That's right, and that was the expectation. Of boy, were we socked in here in Winnipeg and southeastern Manitoba. Moved into Winnipeg at about midnight and stuck around well into the latter morning, early hours. Take a look at this. This was a shot from our live eye during the morning show this morning. You can just see the top of the Canadian Museum for Human Rights just popping up there. And you know, the conditions were ripe for this. We had otherwise relatively clear skies, light winds, and if you'll recall, there was an awful lot of rain just a couple of days ago, so the ground was wet. You throw that all together and you got all that fog. So it wasn't just here in the city, it was a lot of other places. Tonight, though, we will not be hitting that repeat button. I'll show you why coming up. Let's take a look right now, though, first through the Bath Fitter Live Eye. Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. Much clearer out there right now. Beautiful blue sky, 26 degrees with the humidex. Sure, it feels a bit warmer at 27. Winds, well, they're coming out of the south-southwest at 15 kilometers an hour. The pressure is dropping and the humidity is 35%. Out in traffic on this Wednesday afternoon, not a lot of traffic to show you right now at this live look down onto Notre Dame Avenue.
There's a new local low-pressure hockey program for kids. Details about how to register your child next.
Your morning just got a little brighter. Start your day with CTV Your Morning, and you could win $20,000. For your chance to win, watch CTV Your Morning Winnipeg, weekday mornings 6 to 9.
Get Winnipeg's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
The U.S. could take a stake in a Canadian mining company operating in the U.S. Lithium Americas is developing a copper mine in Nevada. The company's in the process of renegotiating a $2.3 billion U.S. loan from the U.S. Energy Department. As part of that, Washington may be considering taking a 10% stake in the company, like it recently did with Intel. Here's a look at how the trading day ended. The Canadian dollar down to $71.95. West Texas Intermediate up $1.40 to $64.81. Western Canadian Select is up over $1 to $51.70, and the TSX is down 58 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marella Fernandez.
Market Watch is brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross. Group health plans for any size business.
The Winnipeg Jets played their second preseason game last night, and it was the first time fans got to see a hometown hero on the ice. Number 19, Jonathan Toews, took the opening faceoff against the Edmonton Oilers at Canada Life Place. Toews hasn't played an NHL game in 2 years after finishing 15 seasons in Chicago. The 37-year-old from St. Vital signed with the Jets earlier this year and says it feels good to be playing hockey again.
It's a strange feeling for sure. You know, I think a lot of it feels like old habits, just getting ready for a hockey game, but then there's a lot of kind of just newness around me too. So it's fun to be in this locker room and fun to get back on the ice.
Toews finished the game without any points, and the Jets lost the game 3-2. The team plays the Oilers again in Edmonton Friday night. And the Jets announced today a new recreational hockey program for kids. The Winnipeg Jets Rec Hockey program gives young hockey players a chance to develop skills in a fun, low-pressure setting without competitive influences. Every Sunday morning, there's an hour-long scrimmage at Seven Oaks Arena. Players are divided up equally to create skilled teams, and each player has a chance to play 32 games over 16 game days. Registration is now open. You can visit hockeyforallcenter.com. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers are in action in front of a hometown crowd this weekend, and they'll try to tame the Hamilton Tiger Cats at Princess Auto Stadium. The Bombers are coming off a big win last weekend in Ottawa. Quarterback Zach Caleros, recovering from a head injury, was practicing with the team this week, but he won't suit up for Saturday's game. Coach O'Shea says the Bombers' younger players have been stepping up and filling key roles in the lineup.
Their willingness to keep learning. Right, like you can never arrive as a rookie. You just have to keep on taking in more information. So all these guys have made their share of mistakes, and they've all made an effort to learn from them. And that is what I think is important.
Saturday's game is the 5th annual Orange Shirt Game to mark the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation. The team will wear orange during warm-up. The jerseys are then auctioned off to raise money for Indigenous sports programs. And more than 1,000 Indigenous fans from 90 Manitoba communities will be in the stands. Game time is 2 o'clock. Looking for something the whole family can do on the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation? We've got an idea for you next in Spotlight.
Spotlight, sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting Elton Ron Tribute.
Colleen Brady is back now for Spotlight, and Fort White Alive has something special planned for the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation.
That's right, Marilee. It's featuring a day full of Indigenous-led programming, and it's free. Winnipeg's urban nature oasis will be open next Tuesday with a series of events, including a sacred fire, a powwow demonstration, and opportunities for reflection. A Red River Métis medicinal plant harvester will lead guided medicine walks. You can watch an artist paint a mural, bringing teachings of animals and traditions into his work. There's also a craft workshop and teepee teachings. The day is free, but you can make a donation to support future Indigenous-led events in the future. Winnipeg Comic-Con is adding some more stars to its lineup. Sean Astin is among those announced today. Astin is best known for his roles in The Lord of the Rings and The Goonies. Harry Lloyd of Arcane and Jamie Maguire of From fame will also be here to meet fans. Winnipeg Comic-Con takes place October 24th to 26th over at the RBC Convention Center. A new powerful exhibit is open now at the Canadian Museum for Human Rights. It shines a light on a dark chapter in Canadian history. Appropriately titled Broken Promises, it explores the plight of Japanese Canadians during the Second World War who had their homes, possessions, and businesses seized and ultimately sold or stolen. Despite official promises, they would be kept safe. You can expect to see personal artifacts, maps, archival documents, and more. The exhibit runs now until April 25th. Your primetime lineup starts at 7 with The Floor, and at 9, catch Shark Tank. It's all right here tonight on CTV. The sun is shining down onto the St. James Bridge. Traffic moving well in both directions. A little busier, as you might expect, for folks headed southbound. Right now in the city, it is a very warm 26 degrees. I will have your full forecast coming right up.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&Teak Spa Salon.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Well, now that we are into the latter part of September, the normal daytime high for Winnipeg is about 16 degrees. Right now, we're cruising at 26 degrees here in Winnipeg. And that's nothing compared to out in the southwest. Brandon right now, currently 28 degrees there. They didn't get the memo there that it's now fall, but very warm. You'll feel more like fall tomorrow, by the way, Brandon, and for that matter, the rest of us here in the south. More on that in a moment. But the warmest place in all of Manitoba so far today and so far this hour is Swan River. The highest temperature today so far there, 29.2 degrees. Right now it's 29.1, so just down just a slight amount, but it is still very, very warm in that neck of the woods. Further north, it's been a very warm day too, but you can see all this cloud encroaching and not much in the way of radar, so we can't show you any precipitation, but there was the expectation that a low pressure system forming in southern Alberta earlier today would pretty much be racing northeast and into northern Manitoba today, and more so into tonight, bringing a pretty narrow band of rain to some areas a little further to the north. This won't affect all of northern Manitoba, but we will all be affected affected by the winds it generates once that low passes by tomorrow. In northwestern Ontario, bright and sunny there too. Winds coming out of the south-southwest into your region. So here's that narrow band of rain. So this isn't a significant system with respect to precipitation, but as I mentioned, the winds are going to whip around. We've had more of a southerly flow throughout the day today in Manitoba. Those winds will change. They will come out of the northwest tomorrow, and they'll be strong and gusty, including down here in the south. So temperatures won't be summer-like tomorrow. They'll be more in keeping with where they ought to be for this time of year, in the mid to upper teens. So we might still be a bit above normal, but much closer to it. Then we get into the evening ahead on Thursday. Still pretty clear here in the south and central regions, east into northwestern Ontario. Not much happening with that system out of the way. Just a little bit of cloud at most popping up overnight. But once we get into Friday, the next round of rain makes its way into the northwest corner, and it looks to be a much more substantial system. But for tonight for Winnipeg, no precipitation, mostly clear. The difference, though, tonight versus last night, we won't see that fog. The reason being these south winds will be strong enough at 20 kilometers an hour to prevent that from happening. An overnight low of 14 degrees, mild for this time of year, a high tomorrow of 18. So not nearly 26, but still warmer than 16. Mostly sunny in there. You see those winds coming out of the northwest at 30, gusting to 50 kilometers an hour. The UV index for tomorrow, Thursday, already is 5 or moderate. Quick look at the long-range forecast. There's a chance of evening showers on Friday, but before that, sunny, warm, 24 degrees. 22 on Saturday. We have the Bomber game in the evening, 24 in the sun on Sunday, and then back up into the mid-20s under a mix of sun and cloud on Monday and Tuesday. To our weather photos we go, and of course, we have to focus in on the fog, and well, we should. This photo is from Jeff of a geese on a foggy retention pond here in Winnipeg, out in Waverly Heights. And from one water body to another, this photo is from Patrick, taken this morning on the Taylor Bridge at sunrise, looking at the fog and the geese over the Assiniboine River. Send us your pics to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
Statistics Canada has released its list of the most popular names for girls and boys. Can you guess what the names on top are? Well, for the 9th year running, Olivia is the most popular name for girls, while Noah tops the list for boys for the 4th straight year. Runners-up were Liam and Charlotte. However, Sophia with a PH and Sophia with an F came in separately in 5th and 6th place. If combined, that name would actually topple Olivia's reign as the most popular. You can see the full list on our website. Just go to ctvwinnipeg.ca. And in case you're wondering where Colleen ranks, 2,672.
I'll take it. It's original.
And no
by
surprise,
the sounds of those statistics.
Yeah, no surprise, 0. Maryland's
there you
on
go.
The list. Come on, people, change that.
We're unique, though. Let's embrace this.
Some pregnant viewers out there, come on, don't you want a Colleen or a Marilyn?
Sure. Name your kids after us. Why not?
All right, have a good one. We'll be back in a half an hour with more news at 6.